Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville Zoning Hearing Board meeting for October 2nd, 2019. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Before we get started, I'll ask you to please, if you have a cell phone, turn it off or mute it. Do something with it. Okay. Sharon, roll call, please.
Mr. Rosapel?
Here.
Mr. Grisiak?
Here.
Mr. Augustino?
Here.
Mr. Dice?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion on the approval of minutes from last month's meeting.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, under new business, Paul.
First item tonight is 19-25-A, Eagle Rental Purchase. Applicant requests a variance from Section 307.8 of the Monroeville Zoning Ordinance Number 1443 as amended to install a temporary sign that will exceed the 4-week maximum allowable display period by 3 months until a permanent sign is installed. The property is located at 2644 Mosside Boulevard, which is the Mosside Village Plaza, tax parcel 857D259 in the C2 Business Commercial Zoning District.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody in the audience for this?
Yes, sir.
Please advance. You state your name and sign in over here, please.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Chad Fisher. I'm the store manager at that location.
Okay, would you raise your right hand, please? You swear that all the evidence or testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
That's your case.
We are asking for a allowance on our temporary sign due to our recent move to the Monroeville area. We were recently in Penn Hills. Unfortunately, we did have a fire that did destroy our building, so we did have to kind of move suddenly, and are just asking that in this time, as we are finalizing a lease and looking to make a permanent move, that we're able to keep that sign available to us once we have the finalization of a lease and are able to put a permanent sign up. We plan to do so immediately.
Okay, any questions from the board members?
So you're going to occupy this present space permanently, or you're working on that? Or?
Working towards finalizing lease at this time, yes. Okay. Details of that I'm unsure of, but as far as I do know, yes, we are working towards that solution. And once that is done, we do plan to install a permanent sign, yes.
Okay. Any further questions?
No.
Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I second.
Approved and seconded. The motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The motion is approved. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Call number 2.
Item 2, 19-26-A, John Civitarese.
Very good.
Applicant requests a variance from Section 207.8 of the Monroeville Zoning Ordinance Number 1443 as amended to increase the size of an existing driveway beyond the maximum permissible 25% of the front yard. The property is located at 4407 Helmar Drive, tax parcel 855B195 in the R2 one-family residential zoning district.
Okay, anybody involved in this, please come forward, sign in, and state your name.
Yes, my name's John Civitarese, and that is my residence at 4407.
Okay, would you raise your right hand, please?
Oh, sorry.
You swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, that's my residence, 4407, and I am asking for a variance of my driveway. My existing driveway is 12 foot 4 inches, and I'm asking for additional 8 foot 6, which will make it a total of 21 foot. And that is with the length of the existing driveway. In the summer, last summer, we got a letter for me and the neighbor for parking on the grass, and I didn't know that was an ordinance for parking on the grass. And the problem I have here is Helmar, that part of Helmar, you come off of Center to Raspberry is only 17 foot wide. So we asked him, I says, well, where do we park? If you can't park on the grass, he says, well, park on the road. Well, if you park on the road, you're obstructing the whole lane, the one side. So with that being said, Raspberry is catty corner from me. So I don't know if you have the plot plan here, but Raspberry in the corner of my driveway is only 32 feet. So if you come out of Raspberry and you're going to make the left-hand turn, you can't make that turn. And, you know, when people come, if they have to park on the street, get on the street, it's a safety issue.
Okay, is that all you have?
That's it.
Okay, Joe, will you put up that one picture again where there's gravel showing? Okay, is that you? Yeah, if you can look up at the
On
camera.
the monitor?
Yes, yes,
Is that what you wanted to add on right there?
yes. Cody Browning was out. I spoke to him last summer.
That's one of our code enforcement officers.
Okay. So the neighbor beside me widened his driveway because we both had the same problem. So with the 25%, my existing driveway is only 19.5% of the 25%. And the proposed driveway I want to put in is going to be 32%. So I'm only asking for 7% more for the driveway.
Is that all you have?
That's it.
Anybody in the audience have anything to say? Any board member?
I just have a question. Any neighbors or anyone have any concerns or issues?
No one has contacted me.
No, the neighbor beside me, he widened his driveway, and the neighbor across from me, he has to put stones on the corner of his lot because people keep cutting his.
So neighbor to the left of the driveway, he put an addition on the side of his driveway?
If you're looking at my house,
Yes.
the neighbor to the left, yes.
Now, do you have a neighbor to the right?
I have a neighbor to the right, but they're beyond
Raspberry,
Raspberry.
okay.
Yeah. And she also has to park off, you know, to keep, because it's,
Yes,
like I
traffic.
said, it's a narrow road.
Okay.
And one other thing, if you go above, between Blackberry and Bruner, that road is 25 foot wide, so those people can park there.
So
You know.
the street's pretty narrow.
Yeah, well, you come off of Center and there's a lot of traffic.
Okay.
People come up over the hill, and,
You get a lot of traffic from the college too?
yeah,
What
people
cuts?
cut through. Between Bruner and, you know, off of Center, they come up, you know, sometimes it's busy, you know, but it's a problem. More or less, you know, coming out of Raspberry and a safety issue.
So you mentioned parking on the grass. It was your only alternative before, but now you have gravel there. How long has the gravel been placed?
I put that there last fall.
Okay.
Yeah, got sunk there, so I had to dig it out. I had to do something with it anyway, so I put gravel in there.
Have you been parking your car on there?
Hmm?
Have you been parking your vehicle on
Yeah,
there?
well, I have a trailer. I've been, you know, trying to keep off of Helmar.
Okay.
Okay, seeing no more, let's entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's approved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you bring it back for me? Can you bring it over to me?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Paul?
Item 3, 19-27-8, Thomas Sandretto. Applicant requests a variance from section 207.3 minimum yard requirements for accessory structures of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to construct a 10-foot by 10-foot shed that will encroach approximately 28 feet into the required 30-foot front yard setback and 8 feet into the required 10-foot side yard setback for accessory structures. The property is located at 8 Hillcrest Court, tax parcel 857J354 in the R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District.
Okay, thank you. Would you state your name, please?
Tom Sandrotto.
Okay, your hand is up.
I do.
You swear all the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Present your case.
So I'd like to put the shed in the backyard. We're in a little bit of a squirrely spot in the backyard because we had a large maple tree that was there before us that passed away. Some kind of fungal infection. That big tree came out last year. I'd just like to dress up the backyard and put some of the more interesting things that I don't want to throw away or sell somewhere other than in the garage. Get my car back into the garage. That's sort of a basic outline of what I had in mind.
And the red dot is where
And
the
the
back
little
corner
pink
of your
dot
property.
is about the spot. I didn't quite get it in exactly the right spot. And if there were an objection to the side yard, the lot has two front yards, just straight in the front, straight in the back. So I'm asking for the variance because of the street. And if the side yard is objectionable, this thing might actually be more interesting if it were that way. So if the side yard setback is objectionable either to the committee or any of my neighbors, I can move it. Is that a confusion?
Okay, anybody in the audience have anything to say? Board members? Questions?
Anything from neighbors at all?
No one has contacted me.
Have you have you spoken to your neighbors about what your plans were?
On both sides, but
Yes.
not across the not across either street.
Both sides, they said no issues?
Correct.
So is your backyard fenced? Or
There's
this,
I was here last year to obtain a variance to put a fence after the large tree came down.
so the shed will be in a corner where there's fencing?
Yes.
Is this the fence you're talking about?
I think that's my fence. That's Tilbrook.
So the shed will be right
That's,
behind there?
that's the fence right there, the white one?
I think that was a picture of Tilbrook Road.
Is that roped off area in that photograph?
That roped off area is where I'm seeing a 10 by 10
Okay, so that's
shed.
approximately where you intend to place the shed.
Right. And that would be,
In the corner
in the
location.
corner.
So that's where the application
Correct.
is putting us.
Current
So Any
application.
talk about moving it somewhere else is not really relevant. We're dealing only with where you have that red, or the orange or red dot now.
Correct.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If the
Don't make
la-
it complicated. You might get a yes vote right now, so don't come, you
Well,
put
I
it there?
don't want to have to come back in a month.
I understand that. Do you want to put it there? Where you have it?
Until a landscape architect tells me that it would be more interesting somewhere else.
Well, do you think you should, do you want to be tabled? Because right now, you have to tell us where it's going to go. If you want it there, I think they're prepared to vote for that.
Okay, let's put it in the corner.
Are you sure?
Yes.
When's your landscape architect gonna make
I can
the
always get
decision?
another one of those.
Okay, seeing no more testimony, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
I second that approval.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion is approved.
Thank you.
See you next month. No.
Good luck.
Never know. It's the third time here, just because of the maple tree.
Keep the orange dot, you might use it again.
Exactly.
I never found the picture. It's upside down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul, if you would, please.
Fourth item, 19-28-A, Margaret Tomlinson. Applicant requests a variance from section 207.8 of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to install a second driveway which will exceed the maximum permissible 25% coverage of the front yard. The property is located at 1165 LaSalle Drive, tax parcel 858M339 in the R1 one-family residential zoning district.
Okay, so would you come forward, please? State your name, please.
Margaret Tomlinson.
Okay, did you sign in right there? Could you raise your right hand for me, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Present your case.
I have gotten ill recently, and I had a SUV, and I was using the guard. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. And then I got another car, and I was using that car to drive up to my door because I can't do steps anymore. I have medical history here, and I have a letter from my doctor allowing for events of the patient's driveway. She cannot do steps. The patient has increased difficulty ambulating because of arthritis of her knees and recent diagnosis of Parkinsonism. And I would like to put a gravel driveway up to my door so that I can't go through the garage because there's 13 steps going up into my house, or up into the upstairs. And I can't do the steps.
Is that all you have?
Yes,
Okay. Are you aware that it is illegal to park in your front yard?
I am now, yes.
Any board members have questions?
I have one question for you. Have you looked into getting a chairlift placed in your garage or in your basement to assist you to go up the basement steps instead of putting in heavy expense into using the gravel?
My son said he'd do the gravel for me.
So you have not looked into pricing for a chairlift?
I can't afford a chairlift. My son put my washer and dryer upstairs. Everything that I need is up on the main floor.
Well, you understand that a gravel driveway is not an answer for this, because the gravel is going to keep shifting and sinking, and you're going to be back into trenching in your front yard again, and you're going to be parking right up in front of you, by your front door. Is it possible for you to walk from the street into your front? If you would put a sidewalk or something in there?
A sidewalk into,
From the
there's
street to your
two,
door?
there's a driveway across the street. I would have to park on the road. And I would have to carry my groceries all the way up yard.
Paul, we gotten any calls on this one?
Yes, I've had at least 2 phone calls, and one of the code enforcement officers also fielded some negative complaints from adjoining residents. They're
So the
not.
calls were negative.
Yes, they're not happy about the current situation.
Okay, do you understand, I appreciate the fact that you might have some physical disabilities. And you know, that's part of, I guess, everybody's gonna have those at some point. However, that is not a rationale for granting of a variance. A variance has to be related to the land itself. And in this case, you haven't put on a testimony that tells us, in fact, the lot looks level. There isn't anything unusual about the configuration of the lot that would give you rise to get a variance. But that's the decision that this board has to decide. You know, a gravel, I agree with Mr. Rosapella. You know, all it's gonna do is shift. And, you know, realistically, what you should be doing is putting in a driveway that's either paved or asphalt or concrete. But again, a second driveway into the front of the house is really gonna, I think, have some effect on your property value for resale. I mean, that's just gonna look, it's gonna look unsightly. On the other hand, it's up to this board to decide what they want to do.
Do you understand what Mr. Dice said, explained it to you?
I understand, but I just can't park on the road and,
As one board member, Larry, has indicated, you should look into the chairlift, which is really the practical thing to do. Install a chairlift to take you from your driveway that exists there now and bring you up to the second floor. I mean, that seems to be the proper remedy. The proper remedy isn't to put in another driveway. I mean, I don't know, I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing, and it certainly isn't it doesn't rise to the level of a variance. That's the problem. To put in a second driveway that goes to a front door.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people you can talk to about getting assistance to get a chairlift put in.
There's probably grants for that kind of thing.
Exactly.
The reason I pause is because we've had, as Paul's indicated, we've had residents complain. While they might not be here tonight, they've obviously taken the time out of their days to call the code enforcement and zoning department to register complaints. And frankly, if I was living on that road, I would have problems with somebody putting in a second driveway to their front door. And again, it has nothing to do with the fact that you have some disability. It has to have something to do with the land in order to get a variance granted.
Is there any more discussion on this from any board members? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny.
I will unfortunately have to second that motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to deny. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I would look into that assistance on the chairlift. There are entities out there that will help you, ma'am. Okay, seeing no more further business, I'll entertain one more motion.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion to adjourn, moved and seconded. Is adjourned.